anything. The land they think, they feel is theirs, they will do anything to love. Sing praises, disinter old dialects, secure wells, stretch horizons, transplant ancient olive trees, grow clinging vines and many children. Sleepless, they will do anything to keep their love intact, untouchable. Chanting their own names as tracts of land, sacred texts, calling out as nameless the once named dispossessed. They will do anything. Possessed, they will plant wire, walls, mines, uproot graves where other bones lie, scatter, transport, expel the living, lay siege, lay waste, sow with salt, blow the land asunder, to extend their claim, their exhausted love, unto the next generation, so no one else can share the land, love it this way, implacably. The next poem was a response to xenophobia in my country in 2008, and it is a response to attacks on refugees from neighboring countries. And there's a reference in it to Nelson Mandela, whom I refer to as that famous forgiving man. Do you want to say that?
Yes. La prossima poesia fa riferimento alla xenofobia, torna indietro nel tempo al 2008, a un testo sui rifugiati diffuso anche tra i paesi limitrofi al mio, e si fa anche riferimento a Nelson Mandela.
Today I do not love my country. It is venal, it is cruel. Lies are open sewers in the street. Threats scarify the walls. Tomorrow I may defend my land when others x-ray the evidence. Feral shadows, short, sharp knives. I may argue our grievous inheritance. On Wednesday, I may let the winded stars fall into my lap, breathe air's golden ghee, smell the sea's salt cellar, run my fingers along the downy arm of the morning. I may on Thursday read of a hurt child given refuge and tended by neighbors. Sing with others the famous forgiving man who has forgotten who were enemies, who friends. But today I cannot love my country. It staggers in the dark, lurches in a ditch. A curdled mob drives people into pens, brands them like cattle, only holds a stranger's hand to press it into fire, strings firecrackers through a child, burns stores and shacks, burns. Was that the wrong one up there? Ah. You'll have to hear the English.
Which will you show?
I'm going to read Haraga now.
Haraga.
Okay. Haraga is an Arab term that's come to mean illegal migrants, those who cross borders or who burn the prints on their fingers. And this poem is dedicated to Sandro Triolzi, who is here, a friend of many migrants, and it's written in his voice.
La prossima poesia è intitolata Haraga. Haraga è una parola che fa riferimento agli immigrati clandestini, quelli che si bruciano i polpastrelli per cancellare la propria identità, ed è dedicata a un amico, Sandro Triolzi, che è qui con noi questo pomeriggio, amico e voce degli immigrati.
You have come a long way, crossed frontiers, burnt documents, buried your name before the passage. Then you stripped your fingertips, which had touched mother, lover, your land when it was kinder, in boiling wax. Haraga, those who have burnt. That pulse will always now beat deeper than the throbbing in your chest. Only footprints and stories left to trace your farewell steps across highland, lowland, to leaking boat, airless container, barbed camp, till you reached here, where they badly want to know who you once were in order to send you back. Without ID, you are nothing and everything. Litmus for another country's acid test. No rest now, blank slate, stateless enemy of those whose lips and fingers can be read. Xeno, foreigner, stranger, guest. Though my country hunts you down, welcome to my hearth. My friends will plead for you in court, but there is little we can do for fingers' seared memory and your frontier heart. Until DNA traces you to scarred city, dead kin, this door is open. Stay out if you mistrust these words, or come, however briefly, in. Parts of speech. I wrote a series of poems about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which was the commission that was devised at the settlement after the end of apartheid to make it possible for people to tell their stories of human rights violations and the perpetrators to explain how they came to do what they did. It was a very controversial commission. It had many important stories came out of it, and it was left unresolved in many ways. And I've written a series of poems, and this is the first of it, which is really more about the difficulty of writing about other people's suffering.
Ho scritto una serie di poesie sulla Commissione Verità e Riconciliazione che fu istituita dopo la fine dell'apartheid e diede avvio a un processo all'interno del quale le vittime avevano la possibilità di parlare della propria esperienza, della violazione dei loro diritti umani, e anche l'altra parte, coloro che erano stati, coloro che avevano perpetrato queste violazioni, avevano la possibilità di spiegare che cosa li aveva spinti e motivati ad agire in questo modo. Fu un processo molto controverso e in molti sensi rimase anche irrisolto. Vi sto per leggere quella che è stata la prima poesia di questa raccolta.
Parts of speech. Some stories don't want to be told. They walk away, carrying their suitcases held together with grey string. Look at their disappearing curved spines, hunchbacks, harmed ones, hold-alls. Some stories refuse to be danced or mimed, drop their scuffed canes and clattering tap shoes, erase their traces in nursery rhymes or ancient games like blind man's buff. And at this stained place, words are scraped from resinous tongues, wrung like washing, hung on the lines of courtroom and confessional, transposed into the dialect of record. Why still believe stories can rise with wings on currents as silver flares, levitate unweighted by stones, begin in pain and move towards grace, aerating history with recovered breath? Why still imagine whole words, whole worlds, the flame sputter of consonants, deep sea anemone vowels, birth cable syntax, rhymes that start in the heart, and verbs that move mountains? The transcriber speaks. I was the Commission's own captive, its anonymous after-hours scribe, professional blank slate, word by word by word, from winding tape to hieroglyphic key, from sign to sign, I listened and wrote. like bricks for a kiln or tiles for a roof or the sweeping of leaves into piles for burning. I don't know which, word upon word upon word. At first unpunctuated, apart from quotations and full stops, but hard to transcribe silence from tape. Is weeping a pause or a word? What written sign for a strangled throat? And a witness pointing? That I described when officials identified direction and name. But what if she stared, and if the silence seemed to stretch past the police guard, into the street, away to a door, or a grave, or a child? Was it my job to conclude the witness was silent, there was nothing left to say? All things considered. It's not Kalahari. No, it's all things. Oh, they are. Okay. All things considered. I'm getting to the Kalahari. Not this one. Not much more could have been done than was done. Nobody culpable, just normal indifference. It could have been worse. Everything ruined, whole families buried, long lines of refugees, fires to extinguish, floods to manage, bone beds, craters, disaster on a bigger scale balanced against this small death, almost weightless, all things considered. And my last poem is Kalahari Campsite. In the Kalahari night, we wonder at stars above us, so far, so many, all indelible. We think we're underneath them. They're in space and time beyond us. We're small and fleshy, and they are adamantine. But then immediately, it's raining stars, it's shooting stars. The whole world is stars and nothing else. Desert dunes, red sand, wild cats on killing raids, brown-backed hyena at the fire's burnt remains, an owl's alarm call, the pattern of ants across stone. They're all stars, and we too are stars. We glitter, we rotate, we fall away. We are nothing. There is nothing but stars. Grazie. Okay. We can
Grazie.
go. Grazie.
Thank you. Congratulations for the
Thank you
award.
very much. Grazie.